UTVs out today. You know how much I love UTVs. I do and I don't.
Let your spirit be free. The wind at your back and the whole
I told you I knew where I was.
Let your heart be your guide. In the depths of the thunder, it's your rant and your ride.
Yeah, so nice. Well, you can't regulate gas nozzles. You know, it's either off or on. You can't slow it down. So, you know, it just starts blowing all over the frickin' place. It's like, thanks, dude. Appreciate it. I wanted a gas bath. That's why I came here. Frickin' idiot. Yeah. I don't know. I do not know. So yeah. The gas. It's a Saturday. It's about 10 a.m. It's about 10 a.m. I invited people to go for a ride to Yerington so I could burn the gas out of the gas. I think it's too hot for some people, and other people are busy with family things. And I've been riding this summer, but not much. My wrist and my foot hasn't really held me up, even though it hurts, but my wrist has held me up. No blinker. So there's some horses. So, you know, I haven't gone anywhere this summer. I haven't got over to Hawthorne, Tonopah, Beatty, or Vegas. None of those. So most of my rides, Aaron and I did a California Section 4 BDR ride, and I forgot my sunglasses. That's the whole thing about putting a clear shield on your motorcycle helmet. You gotta carry sunglasses, and I always forget them. So got a visor. You know, it'll keep the sun from just blasting your eyes out, but yeah. That's why I like wearing a tinted shield. Arguments for both, right? All right. So, I'll probably get a new shield for this helmet eventually. They're expensive. Photochromatic shield is $150 plus tax or shipping or whatever. Cheap sunglasses and keep them in my backpack. So I know I pulled the bike out, did the minor maintenance, tire pressures, oil, you know, getting it ready to ride. You know, the bike lives in the garage. My daughter, son-in-law, grandkids live with me, so. But anyway, I pulled the bike out under the back porch, getting it ready, and she said, "That's a two-stroke? When did you go to two-strokes?" I'm like, "Well, you knew it was a two-stroke. I told you it was a two-stroke. The first day I bought it, I rode it over to your house in Carson and showed you." But she forgot, so she was surprised. I'm like, "Yeah, it's fun to ride, but it's not really a traveler. You know, Yarrington's about as far as you can go. You might be able to get over to Hawthorne and back after you gas up in Yarrington, but you can't go from Yarrington to Tonopah. You know, that's 104 miles. Even if I got a bigger gas tank, which I might do, you know, you would just be squeaking into Tonopah. And you gotta go the long way. You gotta go the long way, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know, some of my rants today are the same rants I ranted before. You know, maybe 2% of anybody watching this video will agree with me and everybody else will argue with me. You know, and again, I've said it probably 10, 20 times before. on video, you know, the rants about the left lane and speeding. So I drive my car from Dayton to Carson, which is 10 miles, and then, you know, if you drive around Carson, which I do, you know. So I drive it to Carson mostly once a week. And then I come home. UTV's out today. You know how much I love UTVs. I do and I don't. I do and I don't, I do and I don't. So, you know, this, for a lot of you people, me bringing up this rant, you'll probably quit watching this video already. And back to stay on my subject, then I'll talk about other subjects. But you know, so the big argument, right? Stay in the right lane unless you're passing, right? And then you got the speeders. We're going 70 miles an hour plus in the 45. And they're like, well, I can be in the left lane. I'm passing everyone. But you're breaking the law. Right? And then they'll be really happy to point out to you, you need to read your handbook. The left lane is only for passing. Yeah, but you don't pay attention to the part of the handbook that says obey traffic laws. You know, speed limits. Yeah, I love that. I love that mentality. I think it's good that you stay out of the passing lane while I'm speeding, but I don't have to drive the speed limit because everybody speeds. You know, so in my little town of Dayton, which I've been in for approximately close to 40 years, and back then we never had problem making left-hand turns. Most of these people who are speeding and complaining about people riding in the left lane. They want you to drive 70 miles an hour to keep up with, or drive faster than the speeders so you can get in the turn lane and slam on your brakes to make a left-hand turn. It's like, no way, dude. I only drive to town like most of the time, once a week, maybe twice a week. And if you get behind me, you're driving the speed limit. And guess what? I just saved your life. And somebody else's, because you keep speeding 70 miles an hour in the 45, you're going to be a statistic one of these days. It's just like I tell people, if you're going to start riding motorcycles, you're going to crash. It's not if you're going to crash, it's when you're going to crash. Same thing with speeding in a car. It's not if you're going to crash, it's when you're going to crash.